Hey guys, Will here. So we're going to be talking about a different type of simulation today. We're going to be talking about simulated engine noise inside modern cars. Now, there's a lot of talk about this, particularly in the BMW world, and we're in my BMW M2 competition today to demonstrate this. But this is something that happens in a lot of modern cars, and it's something that has been around for quite some time as well. So for a very long time now, or since the beginning of cars really, manufacturers and engineers have tuned their exhaust systems to try to maximize the sound of the engine coming through the exhaust and what you hear inside the cabin as well as outside the car. Now, over time, as we've gotten more and more, I guess, aggressive with our emissions laws, cars have had to become quieter and quieter outside. And these days, most modern performance cars, including cars like the M2 competition, sound quite muted and quite muffled outside the car, and that of course has made modifications like exhaust systems a lot more popular. So as these emission laws become more and more strict, engineers are having to come up with more crafty ways to keep that driving experience engaging and fun without being too noisy outside the car. And there's a couple of ways that they've done that more recently. If we look back to my old Subaru BRZ, they used to have an intake tube that actually came off the main intake of the engine and run down to a little vent inside the firewall, and that kind of brought some of that engine noise through into the cabin without making the exhaust sound any louder. But what we're starting to see now is one step further and actually generating engine noise through the speaker system in the car, running that through the cabin to enhance the driving experience. Now, this is something that's pretty well known, pretty common in the BMW world in particular, and we are going to be demonstrating this today on the M2 competition. So in the BMW, this is called ASD, or Active Sound Design. So there are quite a few videos floating around online of people that have switched this off or coded this out in their cars and then gone for a drive around to kind of explain what it sounds like. But what we're going to be doing today is something a little bit different. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to actually hear what it sounds like live as we switch it off and on while we're driving here in the M2 competition. So what we have is a little OBDLink CX, which we bought off Amazon, and I'll drop a link down in the description below. Now, these have a whole bunch of different uses, coding, we can do all kinds of different things. I actually used it to enable full screen CarPlay on the car a couple of days ago as well. But this is a little OBD2 dongle, which plugs into our OBD port down on the ground here. We simply plug this in down here, like so. Then we have an app on our phone called BimmerLink, and we can actually use this to switch off and on the ASD, or Active Sound Design system, while we're driving around. So let's jump in the car now and we'll get to it. All right, so we've got Tom here in the car with us as well, who is our resident sound engineer.
Yes.
Actually though.
Yeah, well, in a past life.
So what are we using, Tom?
We've got a shotgun microphone.
Yep.
Rode NTG
4? Yes.
4,
yep, that's
yes.
right.
So that should give us a nice present oomphy sound.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're just recording that into a little audio recorder. Yep. And yeah, basically we're gonna move it around the cabin, so give you an idea of what we're kind of hearing, as well as kind of hold it up to some of the speakers inside the cabin as well to see what kind of an effect this is having. So we're gonna get the BimmerLink app connected now. So we hit connect.
I'm very skeptical about this. This sounds stupid.
There we go, that's connecting. It failed the first time, but now it's working.
Oh, good.
There we go. All right, so we can see on the screen now, we've got a couple of different options here. That's a subject for another video, but what we're interested in is ASD. So we're gonna tap on that. And now we literally just have an on-off switch, which
Easy.
We're gonna fiddle around with. So I'm gonna let Tom do that, because in Australia, you're not allowed to touch your phone while you're driving.
All right.
Okay, so we're in comfort mode at the moment. So none of the sport modes, the exhaust valves are in their comfort setting. Everything is as quiet as can be. So let's give it a little bit of a rev here.
Oh.
Did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's subtle, but it definitely changed something, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it definitely came through here.
Yeah. So that's not with the microphone up against the speaker either.
Yeah,
So
I'm just sort of holding this to replicate what our ears are hearing for now. If I
So-
put it right up to the speaker.
okay, so it's off at the moment.
Yeah, turn it on. Ooh. That's weird.
All right, and then let's do in M mode as well, and then we'll go for a drive. So this is M mode, so everything in its maximum sportiness. So that's on. And you can hear the exhaust crackle in the back as well there. Okay, we'll switch it off. So definitely,
Yeah, it's definitely
it's
noticeable.
definitely noticeable, isn't it? Even just free revving. So let's go for a drive now. We might start off in M mode, I think.
Yeah, let me hold that for you.
Yeah, I'll let you hold that, so we're not getting ourselves in
Okay,
trouble
I'll
here.
move the microphone back so it's what we're hearing.
Yep. Okay, let's go for a drive.
So noticeable is one thing, but worth it.
Yeah, well,
it seems funny.
I don't know, because I mean, so many people just hate it on principle.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Yeah.
But I also kind of like the sound of the cabin, so I don't know. Like, I think the point of this video is so that people can actually hear live what it sounds like on and off, like what the difference is in, you know, in real time. So this is still on at the moment in M mode.
Okay, once we get the revs up a bit, I'll off.
So I definitely heard a difference there. But what we'll do is we'll go down to a road where we can open it up a little bit more. Past this guy, this Tesla is driving itself into me.
Alright, I'm going to turn it on for now.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely heard that when you switched it on. It instantly got louder in the cabin. All right, so we're going to be driving up a bit of a hill now. So we're going to have the engine under a little bit of load. So that should be a good test, I think. Whoa. That's a huge difference.
That's massive, yeah.
It sounds like quite muted without it, doesn't it? So that's off at the moment, isn't it? Like I can tell without even looking at the thing whether it's off or on. So this is off at the moment. We're pulling off onto a street where we can give it some stick. So let's do that. All right, so we're in M mode at the moment. So everything is maximum loudness. We've got ASD switched on. Let's sort of just try to hold the revs at a stable kind of. Whoa. So that's off now, yeah?
Yeah, it's off. On.
Yeah, so definitely.
It's a pretty big difference.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm going to take my headphones off so I can hear it properly.
Yeah, yeah. Be good to sort of know whether what you're hearing in the headphones is a good representation of what we're actually hearing inside the cabin as well. So
yeah, so these are isolating headphones so I can hear what the mic's hearing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty similar experience through the mic, so I think people are getting a fair representation.
All right, well what I'll do is I'll go a little bit harder up the hill here.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Not as big a difference when you're really...
Yeah, when you're really into it, it's kind of just that, it almost adds a little bit of drone, doesn't it?
Yeah. So in the lower revs, it's a much bigger difference.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a richer, fuller sound rather than just being louder. Is it adding anything in terms of cracks and...
I don't think it's adding any cracks and pops and things.
No, I don't think it is.
I think it's just that kind of resonant frequency that sort of makes the whole car kind of
come alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's off.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's like, I totally get why people want to switch it off on principle, and I mean there are definitely a lot of other reasons to switch it off as well. Like if you put an aftermarket amplifier in the car, that amplifies the active sound design as well and makes it sound stupid. So I'm certainly not saying anybody who switches it off is silly, and I totally get why people want to switch it off on principle as well. But for me personally, I actually think it makes the car sound better inside. What's going on, Tom?
I'm gonna puke.
Why?
I feel sick.
We weren't even doing anything.
I know. What can I say? I'm soft.
Are you actually going to spew?
I don't think so. I just need some air.
Okay.
Very sweaty.
All right. All right, guys, so that is a live demonstration of just how much difference active sound makes in a BMW M2 competition. And I would imagine that it's probably quite similar in most cars that employ some sort of a system along these lines. Obviously, it's not the most scientific test in the world, but hopefully you found it interesting anyhow. What did you think, Tom?
It's good. I like the sound that it creates. It's nice, but knowing that it's there is a bit of a downer.
Like I said before, I totally get why people don't like it.
Yeah.
But
I think if I bought the car and I didn't know it was there, I would like the sound.
Yeah, but I guess you also have to acknowledge the reality that, you know, we live in 2021 now. Cars can't make the same kind of noises that they used to. So it's kind of like, well, would you like to have this or nothing?
Yep.
That's kind of the choice.
Fair enough.
Unless, of course, you're fitting aftermarket parts. So
exactly.
It is what it is. Hopefully you guys found the video interesting. Leave a thumbs up if you have. And yeah, we'll see you guys again soon. Bye.
See ya.